It gives me great pleasure to welcome back Matt Smith from the class of 1991 to give this year's commencement address. Matt is a veteran television radio broadcaster who has been a fixture on the Los Angeles and national airwaves for nearly 30 years. Previously, a host for the NFL Network programming and the Los Angeles Lakers broadcast, he currently is a radio play-by-play broadcaster for the NFL and college football, also college basketball, including his work as the voice of the NFL's Los Angeles Chargers. He has co-hosted the Petros and Money afternoon radio sports talk show on AM 570 in the LA sports area for nearly 20 years. He's a native of Hammond, Indiana. He began his broadcasting career while studying at Pepperdine University, from which he graduated with degrees in political science and speech communication. My connection with him goes back to our time, this can't be right, says 35 years ago, when I taught him in my political science class and coached him in basketball and baseball. He was a charismatic student who made his presence known in the classroom and on the playing fields and on the theater stage. He showed a love of learning and was a student who had a very unique sense of humor. We reconnected several years ago in Los Angeles while I was out doing an interview with a series of alums in the LA area. It was remarkable to see how many fans came up to him while we were having lunch. He was extremely gracious with each person who came up to us. I'm very proud of you, Matt, and how you established yourself. Everyone, please help me welcome Matt Smith.
All right. Thanks for having me, everyone. I appreciate it. This is awesome. I'm not going to pretend to be too cool for school, pardon the pun. I have not been back on campus since I graduated, so this is really cool. I got to walk upstairs. I got here a little early and see some classrooms for the first time, so I'm very honored to be here. So thank you, Ms. Shepard, appreciate it. Thank you, Morgan Park Academy faculty, MPA staff, and especially to my, as you said, former history teacher, baseball, basketball coach, Tom Drahazel, who reached out late last year and asked if I would be interested in delivering the commencement address to the class of 2024. I'm really proud of you all. I am, and I mean that. I know we don't know each other, and usually when you hear a stranger say they're proud of you, it rings a little hollow, but I have 3 daughters. I know how hard high school is. Beyond the schoolwork, it's a hard part of your lives to sort through mentally, emotionally, physically, as you are going from boys and girls to young men and women. And everybody here, everyone out here knows how hard you worked. And just in case you weren't sure or you hadn't heard it yet, your parents right now are so incredibly proud of you.
That's right.
Your teachers, this faculty, they are incredibly proud of you. So you earned it. So come on, kind of lift your shoulders back a little bit, puff your chest out, big smile, because this is special. You may think it's a bunch of adults that are gonna kind of drone on a little bit here, but this is a really cool day for you. So Mr. Drahazel mentioned our radio show. I have a partner. He was captain of the USC football team, and when we first got together, he mentioned he'd like to kind of loosen things up every now and then, and it was something he called varsity enthusiasm. So if you will all humor me, I would love to get a little bit of varsity enthusiasm before we get rolling. And it's very simple. I'm gonna count to 3 real quick. It's a quick 1, 2, 3, and then everybody, all of you, I want a big woo, and we're gonna clap it up. All right? We're gonna clap it up. So here we go. You may have to only do it once, we may have to do it more than once, but let's get a little bit of varsity enthusiasm in here.
Yeah.
So here we go. We ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Woo! Let's go one more time. Let's go one more time. I want this part louder than this part. Here we go. One more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Clap it up. Clap it up. Don't be afraid to be goofy. Do not be afraid to get a little weird. And the only reason we don't more often is the judgment of others.
Yep.
Do not concern yourself ever. I got the font large enough, I don't need the readers, thankfully. Never concern yourself with the judgment of others, especially strangers. And make sure you reciprocate that. When you see people laughing, dancing, singing when they look ridiculous. Embrace them and embrace their happiness. It is so important to our everyday lives. I love seeing my parents, my mom and dad, my brother are here. They're probably a bit more proud of what I've been able to accomplish today compared to what I would guess was incredible uncertainty of what they were thinking when I sat there 33 years ago, as I was heading a couple thousand miles west. So do me a favor, make eye contact just right now if you can. Find your parents, find your family, for whatever reason. We need to tell each other how proud we are of each other more often. So just kind of lock eyes and feel that pride that you all have right now. Because they're your ride or die. They'll be with you for the rest of your lives. And it's important to know that. Make sure you remember who your ride or die are. And that's going to be, so here's the thing, like, for the rest of your lives, don't ever hesitate to tell someone how great they are, how great something they've done was, or just how cool it was. Even if it's that simple, you will make their day. It's great seeing people feel great and to know that they know that you appreciate them as opposed to feeling appreciated yourself. And that's going to be the theme today, happiness. We don't talk about success in those terms nearly enough. Success is typically viewed through a financial lens, some meaningless title in front of your name, how big is your house, what car do you drive. None of it will matter if you're not enjoying yourself, if you do not care or excited about your situation. If there was, Mr. Drahausen was very flattering in his introduction of me. If there was an honest written assessment under my MPA senior photo, it would read Matt Smith, intelligent but incredibly uninterested, athletically gifted but zero drive to get better. So, like, and I think probably might never realize his potential was the thought of a lot of the faculty here. So in all seriousness, with that MPA resume, I was thinking, why would they invite me here to share what I wish I knew 33 years ago when I sat technically right there as a B student, an average athlete, headed to a school that almost nobody around here had heard of, Pepperdine. And all I came up with was, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I love my job, I love my jobs, I'm thankful, I'm grateful for all of those things, and I want each of you to find that. More than anything else in your lives, I want you to always be honest with yourselves and ask, does this make me happy? So I hope this works. Our small amount of time that we're going to spend together right now, I hope is beneficial for you. This is for you, not me. You know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm sorry, guys. I want to talk to you guys. I keep turning around. I don't do these. Like, this is my first commencement address. I have not done a public speaking engagement for 6 or 7 years, and as Mr. Drahausen described my resume, I get a lot of, requests because I've been in LA for 20 years, I've been on TV, I've been on the radio, there's a celebrity, even though it's the lowest rung of the ladder cachet that goes with that. But I just find all of these things to be too sort of self-congratulatory, and here was my path of success, and this is what I did, and that was my path, so this is for you. And instead of really digging deep and asking commencement speakers I'm speaking of, but what did I want to know? I think they end up just telling you kind of what they did. And so before you start zoning out, because that's what I did when our commencement speaker was here, I came up with a lot of things, quite a few things that I was like, man, I wish I knew that when I was 17 or 18. And I hope maybe one of them sticks with you, even if it's just for today, it's for the next week, and hopefully for the rest of your lives. I'd be so stoked if that were the case. So hopefully, before we get rolling today, just know if I fail, if I finish and you decide this was a waste of your time, I'm sorry, sincerely. But this was not thrown together. This is like version 20, maybe 25. And I threw a bunch of them out. And some emotion, as you can hear, was put into this. I have 3 kids, and for you parents, again, I'm a communicator by trade. I know how hard it is to talk to your own kids, so maybe this will help too if you're stuck in a rut like I am sometimes. As our kids turn into young adults, the conversations become a little more complicated, a bit more challenging. Just keep talking to each other. And graduates, help out your parents, mom, dad, struggling with something. You're gonna be on your own for the first time in your lives. Please let them know, because they wanna help, they wanna talk to you, but sometimes you gotta open that door. And it's, you know, they'll open it, they'll always open it, their door is open, but sometimes you gotta open yours. And please do that, because you're gonna be on your own for the first time in your lives when you go away, and you're gonna run into some troubles, and they're gonna be there to help you. So, there were overall themes. Write things down. Don't be distracted when you're on task. The always popular, work hard. That's the one thing you can control. You all know that, right? Yeah, you've all heard that before. Work hard. That's the one thing you can control, and great things will happen. We're all gonna work harder if we enjoy that work. So find something you enjoy. So here we go. Number one, quit, change, move on. Be patient, but not a prisoner. I changed my major 3 times. I entered Pepperdine for business. That shifted to acting. My parents were very excited about that one. And then I settled on pre-law and poli-science speech. You are not tied to what you think you want to do right now. If you get to school and you take an elective and something clicks, don't be afraid to chase it. You know, because you wrote something down underneath your senior photo does not mean that's what your future is. Now it may be, and that's great. And there's a lot of people that will move forward and know exactly what they want to do right now, but make sure, constantly reaffirm, this is what I'm going to do for the next 35 years. And I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to come home maybe late for dinner, but man, do I love doing this. And that's something you constantly have to ask yourself. And after the first job, did the same thing. Changed careers 3 times. Was hired into the music business. I was out with rock stars, backstage, gold records, private flights, all of that. And sitting in a hotel room in Dayton one day, missing my daughter, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I took a job and a 30% pay cut, and we made it work. And I was happy, and our family was happy, because that's what I wanted to do. So I want you to always do what you love, because that's going to make you happy. Get up early. Find something you love that wakes you up before your alarm clock. For me, I surf every day. I get up, my alarm doesn't go off, I paddle out to the ocean at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and that sets me on a track for the rest of my day. So obviously not all of you can paddle into the ocean and go surfing, but maybe it's grinding your own coffee beans, maybe it's Duolingo, maybe it's reading, maybe it's running, cycling, whatever it may be. Find something to get you out of bed early and happy, most importantly. Civics. Learn about civics. This is so important. Your local elections. Find out who your mayor is, your city council person, your state representative. Go to their town halls, demand what you want. They have money to spend. You get to tell them how to spend it. Like, believe it or not, you do. And that goes for your university too. Make sure you go to their open houses and tell them what you want changed. Presidential politics is pounding sand. That's not going to do anything for you. But local, you guys can make a difference. Say yes. If someone's offering, say yes. I showed up on campus at Pepperdine, KMBU. The only radio show we have is on Sunday nights. It's the Grateful Dead hour. Do you want it? Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I lost my Sundays. That led to a girl I worked with in admissions, Katie Willis. My boyfriend works at a record label. It's all the way in LA. It's about an hour away. They're not paying, but there's an internship. Do you want it? Yes. I showed up, worked for free 3 days a week. Hey, the morning show on K-Rock wants to hire a phone screener. It pays $6 an hour, and it's another 40 minutes past where you are right now. You have to be there at 5 a.m. Do you want it? Yes. And there is where I met someone who changed my life, because I was willing to make that drive every day. His name was Jimmy Kimmel. He was the sports guy for the morning show, and we immediately hit it off. And he shared so many wise words with me that I still carry to this day and are a big reason for my success. So say yes to things. The reason I'm married is because I said yes to my friend John White walking home from a long day of class. And he said, you want to go to the Arsenio Hall show? My friends were drinking beers, playing video games in the room. No, let's go. So what happens? We stand in line for 3 hours. We never get in. We eat a burger at Astro Burger. And I meet a girl named Carrie, who was in another car on the way there. And we've now been together for 32 years. So thank you. So say yes. Be a participant, not an observer. Do not survive. Live. Let's make sure we live. Don't live through video games, play intramurals. Don't scroll through Instagram and hit the heart. Make the heart. That's what I want you to do. While you're walking around, don't stare at that small screen. Look up. Lock eyes. You might meet a future business partner. You might meet the best friend. Because you weren't here, you were here. So I want you to observe the world around you. You are young, you are spry. These are the best years of your life, so live it for you, not somebody else. Be safe but not scared. Like I said, I surf. People always ask, you afraid of sharks? We've actually just had a couple shark issues right where I go. Yes and no. I mean, I make sure I keep myself safe, but at the same time, the joy I extract from going in the ocean oh, by the way, Zoe, Pepperdine, and is it Peyton? Where's Peyton? UCI? All right. You too, listen to me. You're gonna think I'm crazy, and all these people are gonna think I'm crazy, but get in the ocean. Make sure you get in the ocean. There is something special in that body of water that will change your endorphin, your dopamine, your serotonin levels. Embrace it. And for those of you that aren't near an ocean, get outside. Sunshine, fresh air. Something about this world that we have left behind recently, where we stay inside too much. Make sure you get outside and live. And that's where the saying, buy the neighborhood, not the house, comes from, right? Like, you want to live in the neighborhood, but yeah, great. You've got granite countertops and mission-style cabinets. That's not your neighbors. That's not your neighborhood and everything that's happening outside. So make sure you think about your surroundings. Competitors are appreciated. Don't sit because you lack skill. Compete. Because as long as Mr. DeHassel can attest to, based on my athletic prowess, as long as you give effort, you will be celebrated. When you compete, you show respect to others playing, and your effort is contagious. Every conversation is an audition. I'm auditioning for you right now. You guys are brilliant. Maybe one day I will hope that you will give me a job. Remember, every interaction you have is an audition. That was something that Jimmy passed on to me. I had 5 minutes of every hour over a 4-hour show to do sports. And he said, yeah, it's 5 minutes, but you live in Hollywood. You live in the entertainment capital of the world. Someone's listening. So always approach those 5 minutes as it was an audition, and that's how I got hired by the Lakers. Because Jeannie Buss loved my sports report. And when they needed to hire somebody new for the Laker broadcast, she reached out, found me, because I treated that 5 minutes not as, I only get 5 minutes. I treated it as, I get 5 minutes, and I'm going to deliver. And that's how I ended up on this track. I feel like we need a little varsity enthusiasm real quick. I'm getting a little long. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Listen to jazz. Charlie, where are you? You're the musician, right? Right? Charlie, you can attest to this. Listen to jazz, okay? Start with maybe Take 5 by Dave Brubeck, or Si tu vois ma mère by Sidney Bechet, and listen to jazz, and listen to how these parts connect together. Something that Jim Harbaugh says. I work for the Chargers now. What's good for the hive is good for the bee, right? Work together. That's so important moving forward. Study abroad. Study abroad. Go see the world. The great thing that will do is you will quickly realize, no matter what country you are in, the same thing that makes people happy, wherever you are, Italy, Japan, UAE, Belgium, makes us happy here. And the same thing that makes those people sad makes us sad here. And it helps us connect as a people and helps us understand each other a little better, and you will get that when you go abroad. Listen, make sure you listen. That's how I got here, is I listened. Mr. Churchill, my 7th grade year, came up to me and said, for whatever reason, you have a great charisma. Can you do me a favor? There was another student that came in 7th grade with me. Can you help him along? And that always stuck with me. And because I listened. I didn't just stand there and think he was wasting my time. Why can't I be at recess right now? And I recognized that, and that's something I took with me. Doc Brown, Charlie, I'm going to call you out again. You're going to school for physics, right? So Doc Brown was my physics teacher, and toward the end of my senior year, he said, what are you going to study at Pepperdine? I said, business. And he hung his head, and he said, business. And he said, you're so good at this, though. You're so good at physics. You love this. And I, and I didn't know what to say. I felt terrible, but just him saying, you're good at this. Why wouldn't you do this? Stuck with me. And instead of staying in business, I chased this dream. And I owe that to Doc Brown for saying, and I got good at radio, and that's what I chased. And finally, I'll close with this. And I know it's been long, so thank you for bearing with me. Life is not a race. And if it were, you would not want to cross the finish line early. So slow down. Enjoy it. Take it in. Try everything. Dive into what you love. Get rid of what you're not into. And again, I said it earlier, but this is the most important thing I wish I knew. Please do what you love. Wear what you want to wear. Be who you want to be. Do not worry about the approval of others, especially strangers. All right, so now we're connected. all of you. I feel connected to you. I'm in this with you. Anything you need, and I mean that. I'm easy to find. I've got social media profiles that you can dig up. Whatever you want, reach out to me. I want to see all of you succeed. I want to see all of you be happy. And if there is anything I can do along the way, please, let's get it. Let's go win. Let's be happy. And can I get perfect timing? Can I get one more varsity enthusiasm? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Congratulations.